Hello everybody and welcome to the video for the details for my Mongolia 2018 tour. So let's get started. The dates are from Saturday the 7th of July to Saturday the 21st of July 2018. This is so if you can only get 2 weeks off work, you can still come along. The cost, £2,500 all in. That is £1,500 that you'll be spending on your flights, food, bike, accommodation, everything, and my £1,000 fee. The cost of the flight has been estimated at £700 from the UK to Mongolia return. That does appear to be true. They'll probably be using Aeroflot as the airline, and they don't sell their tickets until a year before. So you can't see the prices yet, but they're about 700 quid. The general idea, we will be flying in and meeting in the hotel Saturday night, and then Sunday we will be renting our motorcycles. I've got this all arranged. The bikes we will be using are Shine Ray 150cc Mustang bikes. They are the only bikes you can get in Mongolia. They're the only bikes you can get parts for, and they're suited perfectly to the country. We will be riding off-road for 12 days in total. We will set off Monday. We will basically be wild camping the entire time. We will probably occasionally use the odd hotel, but Mongolia has no running water, so if you stay in a hotel, there's really not much difference to camping. In Mongolia, nobody owns the land, so you can wild camp anywhere, and it's absolutely superb. Nobody hassles you. You just see a mountain, go right, okay, gonna go over that and camp on the other side, and nobody will know you're there. It's beautiful. If you want to wash, you'll be joining me in a river to have a wash, because it's the only way you can. There'll be 6 people plus me, so 7 in total. It's a nice sized group. Don't want to have it any bigger because it's too unwieldy to manage. Minimum skill level. This is a first for me. There will be a minimum skill level requirement on this trip. Nothing crazy, not after motocross riders, but we will be riding off-road for hundreds, over 1,000 miles in total. Basically, what I want is that when we get to sand or mud or silt, we can plod along nice and comfortably at about 15-20 mile an hour when it starts to get tricky, and we can keep on moving nice and relaxed, and not having one person just constantly falling over and they can't go above 5 miles an hour. In order to prove your minimum skill level to me, I will require a video of you riding off-road. You have until 3 months before the start of the trip to send me this video, and all I require is a video of you on any bike, scooter, DT50, KTM 1290, whatever you want, just on any form of slippery terrain, like in a field, and I need you to lose the back end and then bring it back in without putting a foot down. And also the same thing with you stood on the pegs. So nothing crazy, just so that you can lose traction and bring it back, and you don't just shit yourself and end up in a heap on the floor. That's all I require. If you're not at that skill level yet, then it's not a massive skill level requirement. I say that you could learn in the 9 months between now and the start of the journey. And you've got 9 months to find somebody who's just got an old shit bike that you can borrow, and if you drop it, it doesn't matter. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, I need that skill level requirement, because otherwise we're just not going to be able to keep on with a nice gentle momentum of just seeing this amazing country. Yeah, no assholes. This is probably my biggest stipulation of the entire thing. My trips are an arsehole-free zone, and most arseholes don't know they're an arsehole, admittedly, but so the first stage is that I require you to self-evaluate yourself. The easiest way is if you're on a night out, had a few beers, so you're nice and inebriated and you're in your normal state. If somebody bumps into you, if you automatically go, "Oh, sorry, mate," even though it wasn't your fault at all, if that's your default reaction, perfect. If you're at a bar and there's somebody on the other side of the bar staring at you like they look like they want to kill you, if you're the kind of person that goes, "I don't really like this," and you just turn around and you just leave the situation behind you and you talk to your mates and just ignore it, then once again you're perfect. If you start going, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I do not want you on this tour, because if we get stopped by the police, if we have some sort of altercation with somebody, I need you to be, you know, just nice and relaxed, part of the team, and you let me deal with it and not escalate the problem. If you are an arsehole, then basically if it's deemed that you're an arsehole and you are pissing off other people on the group, you'll be told to stop whatever it is that you're doing. If you do not stop, then you'll be told to leave, basically. I'll give you, you know, directions and supplies so you can get back to civilization, but that's basically how it runs. If you refuse to leave the group, I will make sure that you have enough supplies until somebody comes and help you, but I will let down your tyres and leave you in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, you'll get rescued, don't worry. But basically, and I will guide the tour, we'll go over a couple of mountain valleys, and you won't find us. So yeah, if that pisses you off, if that concept pisses you off, then once again, you're probably an arsehole. If you hear that and go, that's wicked, that means that I can just hang out with like-minded people who are just fun and relaxed like me, then wicked. I don't really care, you know, there's no real stipulation as to the kind of person I want on this tour. You can be any gender, any race, from any country, nationality. I do require you to speak English, just because, well, it'd be a bit boring otherwise because we can't communicate with the rest of the group. But no, yeah, absolutely anybody is welcome. Yeah, this is a completely raw adventure. Just because it's a guided tour, it's kind of not. This is bare basics, you know. We don't know where we're going to be going. We don't know where we're staying. We could get caught out in the rain. We could get caught. We could have to ride a little bit at night time because of some ridiculous situation that's happened. This is very, very unplanned and raw. If you come on one of my tours, you do not lose adventure, you often gain it because you have 6 other people around you that can just throw in random wildcards of random situations. So yeah, if you've seen the Vietnam video, you understand these are not pre-planned. These are really, really authentic journeys that you'll get proper, meaningful memories rather than me just dictating exactly what happens. They're very fluid, they change. Somebody has Googled somewhere that looks amazing and they show the rest of the group like, hey, look at this picture on my phone, this looks cool, it's only 100 miles, you know, over those valleys. Then we'll take a vote, we might go there, we might not. It's very, very fluid. Yeah, basically, so that's the general ethos of the trip. Just, we're going to be riding through valleys which are tens of miles wide. We're going to be riding for hundreds of miles without seeing another human being, wild camping, and just absorbing this amazing country. And yeah, just winging it for 12 days, basically. Very quick edit. In the next bit, I'm going to say 4th of July and 6th of July, but I don't mean that. I mean 4th of August and 6th of August. So just bear that in mind. Hashtag professionalism. Right, the disclaimer and the booking process. This is going to sound a little complicated, but trust me, it's the simplest I can make it. So, right, here we go. At 1 minute past midnight on Friday, the 4th of July 2017, you will receive a disclaimer in your inbox, which I need you to sign. You can sign this in any way. You can print it out, sign it with a pen, scan it, photograph it, or just sign it electronically on your computer and return it. The order that I receive those disclaimers in is the order of spaces. And there are only 6 spaces available. Right. Then, the people who manage to get a space 2 days later, so at 1 minute past midnight on Sunday the 6th of July, they will then be given payment details on how to send me the £500 deposit, which properly locks in their space. Right. What happens is that from the midnight on Sunday, you have 7 days to get me payment. If I do not receive payment within those 7 days, then you lose your space, and the next person who submitted a disclaimer then gets your place. I've got to do it this way because this is going out to over 400 people, and if I receive 400 lots of £500, basically that's 200 grand, and I really need a house, and I don't want the temptation of having enough money to buy a house in my bank account and then having to refund everybody individually. And you can imagine the chaos that that would cause. So this has all got to be done this way. Right. This will be detailed in text, really straightforward along with this, but just to explain my reasoning why. With the disclaimer, I require a biography from you. 1 page of text which just details who you are, where you're from, your age, your hobbies and whatnot, and some photographs, because I need to start gauging whether or not you're an asshole, basically. And yeah, if you are horrifically dyslexic and you can't type a whole page of text, then I will accept a video from you. But ideally, I really don't want that because they're often quite long-winded, and I prefer text because it's much more condensed. But if you're dyslexic, I don't discriminate, but please only send me the video if you really can't type. If your spelling's all over the place and if you're using the wrong version of your, then I'll give you a free pass. Right, so that's it. So you know how to secure your space, the timescales and whatnot, and that is it, yeah. So the £500 deposit is what secures you your space. 3 months before the trip is due to start, I will require the other £500 and the video of you doing the off-roading, which locks everything in. And I think that's... Oh yes, there will also be Skype interviews from after the deposit. That is when I'll be doing Skype interviews with you to just get to know you. And once again, you know, just try and make sure that the people on this tour are the right caliber. Done a very good job up to now, and I hope that this will continue. I think that is about it. You know when it is, you know the prices, you know the general idea, and yeah, it's just going to be just a proper adventure. Don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, we are going to be riding across Mongolia with no plans, just seeing what it's like. Right, I think you know everything now. You know the dates, the price, everything, what it involves, and from the Vietnam tour video, you'll get the general idea of the rawness of the tour. So yeah, basically I'm going to set to work on this disclaimer, getting everything in order, because as you can imagine, when this goes out, my inbox is going to go absolutely fucking mental. So I've got to get all of this in order, because you can imagine trying to keep all of these emails in order and lock it and just correlating biographies with disclaimers and everything. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon. So cheers.